When you think of airships, you probably picture one of two things: that massive Goodyear blimp gliding over a packed stadium, or the Hindenburg burning its way into history. But there's another player you don't hear much about, a kind of middle child that did more than show ads or make headlines for all the wrong reasons. I'm talking about the ZPN-1. This ship kicked off the N-class blimps, or NAN ships as the crews like to call them. And trust me, the ZPN-1 wasn't just another big balloon in the sky. During the Cold War, it was a quiet workhorse, a flying radar platform that hung in the air for so long the crew must have started dreaming about dry land. It set records and played a hidden but important part in history, all while most people had no idea it even existed. It's 1948, the Cold War's turning up the heat and the US Navy's sweating for good reason. Soviet subs are getting smart, faster, quieter, scarier. The Navy needed something that could stake out the ocean for days, just chilling, waiting to catch a glimpse of those elusive underwater hunters. So who steps up? Goodyear Aircraft Company. Yeah, the same folks who make tires. They land the contract and introduce the ZPN-1. This blimp was built to follow up on the old World War II M-classes, but honestly, it dwarfs them. The envelope could hold 875,000 cubic feet of helium. Imagine 9 Olympic swimming pools all full of helium. That's how big we're talking. The real twist, instead of bolting the engines outside like the classics, they stashed 2 Wright R-1300 Cyclone engines right inside the control car. Why bother? Because they wanted mechanics to fix stuff on the fly. If an engine started sputtering mid-Atlantic, you didn't just cross your fingers, you grabbed your tools and got to work, bouncing around in a floating giant. Now that's what you call pressure. The ZPN-1 wasn't some short-haul machine. The Navy built it for the long haul, so they had to take care of the crew. This wasn't your tight fighter cockpit where you barely had room to breathe. The NAN ship had a double-decker control car. Up top, they set aside space for living, berths, a galley, and somewhere to actually couch some sleep. Down below, that's where the action happened. Radar, sonar, all the controls. It needed about 14 crew members, and it was the first non-rigid airship that could refuel and rearm in the air. The Navy wanted an airship that could just keep going, no need to head home all the time. It was the sky's own Hotel California. You'd check in whenever, but you'd probably end up stuck there for days. The ZPN-1 started out as a prototype and first got off the ground in June 1951. The Navy picked it up in 1952. But good luck finding that name in a history book. The Navy was always switching things up. In 1954, they decided to call it the ZPG-1 instead. By 1962, it was the SZ-1A. Same airship, just constantly getting new labels, like some undercover agent. What's really wild is the ZPN-1 didn't just stop with itself. It cleared the path for even bigger airships, like the ZPG-2, which people called Snowbird. In 1957, Snowbird flew all the way from Massachusetts to Portugal, swung down to Africa, and ended up in Florida. It racked up more than 9,400 miles and stayed in the air for 264 hours straight, almost 11 days. Picture spending that much time in a balloon with 13 sailors and 1 civilian engineer. After a trip like that, you either come out best friends or someone's walking the plank. When we reached the ZPG-3W, these blimps had become the biggest non-rigid airships ever, over 400 feet long. Their job wasn't just hunting submarines now, they turned into the country's early warning system. They actually tucked a 42-foot radar antenna right inside the balloon. The airship's envelope doubled as the radar. Pretty clever, honestly. That setup let them spot aircraft even when storms forced the rest of the Navy's planes to stay on the ground. So why aren't we all riding around in ZPN-1s today? The truth is, those NAN ships were pretty incredible, but they cost a fortune, needed tons of people on the ground to keep them running, and honestly, they were huge sitting ducks once supersonic jets and missiles showed up. The Navy pulled the plug in 1962. Still, the ZPN-1 wasn't some flop. It actually proved that lighter-than-air tech was more than just a gimmick. It could tackle real-world problems with a surprisingly high-tech approach. It broke records that lasted for years, and it reminded everyone that sometimes just hanging around up there gives you the best view. So the next time you spot a little blimp floating above a stadium, show it some respect. That thing's got some big-time ancestors.